Hello, welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Judge. I really enjoyed this film. In the end, it does turn out to be a little bit more melodrama than courtroom drama, but I have to say, it sucked me in. So let's just go ahead and jump right in to the positives of The Judge. By far, the biggest positive for this film was that the acting cast was fantastic, and they were all on their game here. Robert Downey Jr. was doing what Robert Downey Jr. does best, and he was at his best here. He was snarky, sarcastic, and funny, as well as deep and emotional. And that's really what his acting is all about. He's a great actor, and we've all come to know and love him again in his second career as Iron Man. But he brings so much more to this role, and he's really convincing as this kind of pretentious but really damaged lawyer. And I just really loved him as this character. Robert Duvall also does a fantastic job. We haven't seen Duvall for a little bit, but again, he really plays this self-righteous, honest judge that maybe wasn't the best father really well. And he adds those layers to his character, and you're able to peel him back, and he just completely transforms into his role. I also thought the two other brothers were fantastic, and then our supporting cast was also wonderful. Vera Farmiga was doing what she also does very well, playing a pretty similar character to what we've seen her before, but she plays that kind of romantic love interest, but with a little bit of a secret or a little bit of a past, really well, and she does it great here again. And then Billy Bob Thornton as our enemy lawyer was also a fun character to get to know throughout the film in his somewhat limited performance. I thought he might have a little bit bigger of a role, but when he is on screen, he's wonderful. And due to the great acting cast and the wonderful performances that they put in, the connections all felt really genuine and real. The family dynamic was strong. It may not have been wonderful because it was a little bit screwed up, a little bit messed up, and quite a bit uncomfortable, but it felt real. Like you can envision that this is an actual family here. And then all the other interactions between characters also felt real, added real-life humor, real-life scenarios, and even when the movie felt kind of outlandish or far-fetched, the characters were so grounded, thanks to the performances and the writing, that you still felt that this was a realistic depiction of what these people would be going through. However, as I stated, these situations did feel very melodramatic. It felt soap opera-y in the plot quite a bit, and you were just like, wow, where is this coming from, or what? And as you were kind of going through the journey of discovering what this judge has been up to, it did feel very melodramatic-y. Felt kind of maybe Lifetime movie feeling, and I thought that hurt it a little bit, is that it did get too much out there. We did have too many, like, wacky reveals or gasp-worthy reveals throughout, and they were a little bit unwarranted. And ultimately, the biggest downfall for The Judge, I think, is that it didn't break any new ground. It was a pretty film with really strong performances and a meh plot throughout, but didn't leave you thinking. It didn't push any boundaries, and it kind of ran a little bit long. I think it could have used a little bit more editing and trimmed up the fat on the edges a little bit more as well. So ultimately, I enjoyed the film as I was experiencing it and directly after, but it didn't stick with me much longer after that. So I'm not sure, this isn't going to make my favorite movies of the year, or I'm not going to really remember The Judge next year or the year after that. It was a good movie for what it was, and then you kind of move on. because it stayed in a safe realm that served as a vehicle for Robert Downey Jr. to show he can do drama again and he can act outside of Iron Man, and to bring Robert Duvall back and give Billy Bob Thornton another role to plop him into. So ultimately, I definitely recommend The Judge. It's a solid drama that you won't regret seeing. It has great performances, it's enjoyable, and I think it's really fun to go along for the ride. Sometimes you want a little bit of a far-fetched story to mix in with your real life that feels like something you can still relate to. And it's always fun to see actors putting on great performances. So I definitely recommend this, at the very least at a matinee, but I would say even paying full price for it. It's definitely worth it. So, that has been my review of The Judge. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and click like down below. Don't forget to subscribe as well, so that you're never left out on the latest videos. I love you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!